Welcome back to Patriot Network TV. I want to say a couple of words today specifically about General Amos, the Commandant of the U.S. Marine Corps, and what a great American he is. I want to speak specifically to a lifetime of service where he has dedicated himself to the safety and the preservation of liberty of the United States of America by putting his life on the line. Recently, he expressed an opinion as the Commandant of the Marine Corps, an opinion that was viewed by many as controversial, but it's an opinion of a lifelong Marine on how to best increase unit cohesion within the Marine Corps. And it had to do with don't ask, don't tell. Now, for his statement of his honest opinion, he was attacked viciously. What a surprise. The left-leaning, quote-unquote, progressive, the communists, the watermelon, the red on the outside, the red on the inside, green on the outside, however you want to think of it, the usual suspects, as I like to say, the lamestream media, attacked him viciously. Now, when he was carrying a rifle and defending the freedom of the First Amendment for the members of the press, they didn't attack him. When he was quietly carrying out the duties of the Commandant of the Marine Corps and making sure the point of the spear got sharper, our lethality of forces went up and our survivability went up, no one questioned him. But when he dared to say, given my lifetime of service in the U.S. Marine Corps, given the unique characteristics of what service in the Corps is, I think repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell would be a bad idea. Now suddenly, telling the truth is punishable by removal from the Joint Chiefs. It's punishable, you know, if they were female journalists writing the story, one would have to say they were hysterical. Many journalists have absolutely driven over a cliff on this one, saying, you can't talk this way. Now, I want to tell you that I'm coming at this from a very specific context. I have many friends who are African American, and they don't view homosexuality as a civil rights issue. They tell me that the most insulting comparison that they've ever had made to the civil rights structure, to the civil rights struggle, excuse me, is its comparison to the current effort to legalize all homosexual conduct. Or to put it the way one of my friends does, and granted, this gentleman is a preacher in a Baptist church, but he says, I don't want America to continue down the pathway to homosexualization. And again, he's entitled to his First Amendment opinion. But what I find amazing is when General Amos, who has put his life on the line for a career, for an entire career, who's carried a rifle to defend the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, the right to free speech and freedom of religion and freedom of assembly, when he expresses what he thinks is his best judgment of what preserves the unique nature of the U.S. Marine Corps, instead of people saying, well, I disagree with you, but you have every right to say that. In fact, you have a moral duty and obligation to tell us the truth of what you think and feel. Instead of doing that, they attack him. Now, I want to invoke, and I've done this in previous videos, but I want to invoke the memory of Chesty Puller. And I want to invoke his memory specifically for those of you in the audience who don't know who he is. I urge you, if you don't know who Chesty Puller is and you don't know what he did for the U.S. Marine Corps, I want you to read his story, and I want you to ask yourself one simple question. If Chesty Puller was in charge of the U.S. Marine Corps today, would he defend or destroy Don't Ask, Don't Tell? And by the way, in the old days, and I don't know if it's still this way in the U.S. Marine Corps, but in the old days, when the DI put you down on your hands and knees and told you how to pray, you said, God bless the United States of America, God bless the U.S. Marine Corps, and God bless Chesty Puller. So I think he might know something about the Corps, and I think it's incumbent on those of us who are citizens in this country to ask, what would the greatest of Marines say about Don't Ask, Don't Tell?